Hi, it's Average John here with another video about what I have watched this week. Now, I watched many things. Now, I have watched the brand new Shang-Chi, and that is a very excellent movie. You ought to go check it out. I'm not going to talk about it today. I'm just going to do like a short thing and just check it out, pretty much. Just check it out. It's awesome. I love it. It's definitely an important movie. But besides that, it's just great fun. So, and, but besides that, I'm here to talk about another one. Well, Shang-Chi was an anime, so I'm here to talk about one of my favorite animes ever. I've rewatched it countless times. It's easy to watch. It's only like 5 episodes long in a movie. So most only takes up like 6 hours or 3 hours of your time. 3.5, I think. But yeah, I'm talking about Afro Samurai here. It originated on the Spike TV back in like the 2000s, and it's great. It's got great music by the RCA or RZA. It's got a great voice like Samuel L. Jackson, Ron Perlman, Kelly Hu, John DiMaggio, Terra Strong. It's amazing, and I just love it, and it's so cool, so cool, so rewatchable. It's it's just worth it. It's just worth it. I think it's on Hulu. I think it's on Hulu, but I own it, so. But I believe it's on Hulu. And without further ado, let's get into the story. Here are some spoilers for the 5 episode anime. Pretty much, I would go and watch it definitely, and then come back here and, you know, compare and contrast and whatever it is you kids do nowadays. But, and this is my handy notebook right here. It has all my stuff. But, so, of course, you got the two headbands. You got the number 2, you got the number 1. If you have the number 1, you can't be touched, except by the person who has the number 2 headband, which can be touched by anybody. So, you want the number 2 headband to be the number 1. If you have the number 1, you can't really be touched except for the number 2. I'll just explain this, but basically, if you have the number 1, you're a god. You're a god. And this dude named Justice, voiced by Ron Perlman, kills Afro's dad, who had the number 1 headband, who tried to hide it away from the world to stop all the senseless killing. All people trying to get the number 1, but have failed or whatever. And if you wear one of the headbands, you have to accept the challenge, regardless of if you want to or not. So, episode 1 basically is Justice kills Afro's dad and sends him on this vengeful quest to get the number 1 back, to de-head and dethrone Justice, pretty much. So after his dad is killed, Justice gives Afro the number 2 and sends him on his way, pretty much. And the whole anime pretty much is just about him trying to get back. And it's just through the years. So, he gets in a couple fights. Now he's passing on the mountain up to get to Justice. And he deals with some of the MT7 clan. MT7 has 7 brothers, hence why they're the MT7. But he deals with brother. He deals with brother number 7, who is a war person and has a whole bunch of war technology. He slices him with a poison arrow, which completely misses but scratches Afro. So Afro's still able to beat him. And then brother number 6 jumps up with a rocket launcher and just shoots it at Afro. And of course, Afro dodges that, but the part where he is standing on gets obliterated. So there he goes, and that ends episode 1. In episode 2, basically, he gets healed by this girl named Okiku, who is voiced by Kelly Hu. And she gets healed. Apparently, she's a spy for the MT7, but she doesn't want to be anymore. At least she's obtaining Afro's memories for the MT7 clan so they can use it for some experiment. And while this is happening, while he's being healed, meditating, and laying low for a little bit, he's thinking about his past kind of and how he was in a fight with a mob when he was very young. Now he got knocked out and almost died. And we got saved by these two people, Otsiru and Gino. Otsiru is voiced by Terra Strong. If you don't know who Terra Strong is, she's voiced Timmy Turner, I believe. She's voiced a whole lot of cartoon characters. But yeah. So anyway, as I was saying, he's woken by Otsiru and Gino, who had taken back to their camp, and he is put under their instructor, the Sword Master. He's just called the Sword Master. No names there. But yeah, of course, things progress with him and Okiku. Okiku then sleeps with him, as she then tells him that she was a spy, and she destroys the phone that she was using for recording. But MT7, the MT7 clan already have everything they need for an experiment that they're going to run. Oh, but Okiku dies. And the house burns, Afro survives. And I talk about Afro a lot, but all this time so far there's been this imaginary friend kind of next to him, also voiced by Samuel L. Jackson. He is called a Ninja. And he basically, it's his Afro's thoughts as personified. Now, Afro himself is not very emotional. He's a badass motherfucker, basically, right? So, cold ass badass, yeah. But since he's so silent, he has ninja, like I said, personified his thoughts, kind of like be his alter ego in a sense. It's cool and fun to see, And it's fun to see what Afro was thinking sometimes, because he's not very expressive. But that ends episode 2 with Okiku dying. Episode 3, we got there's all these rumors going around that someone in the village that Afro and Gino are in has the number 2 headband, but they don't know. Of course, Afro hears about this and he goes back in town late at night to find the dude who is doing some bad stuff or whatever. And he's just like, where's the number 2? Where's the number 2? And he threatens this dude, and this dude's like, you're just a kid, like, I'm gonna tell you. And he ends up just shooting the dude. And he goes back to the master, and he learns more about the sword arts. And it turns out, in the last episode, when Kiki was extracting the memories, they were building this Afro droid, who is basically like the other side of Afro. the other side of the main character, kind of like when Link versus Dark Link or something. It's the exact copy. It's kind of like you're looking in a mirror. The other can do the exact same moves that you can do. It's a hard battle. Alright, and Ninja's like, oh yeah, look out, Afro. Wait, which one is you? Is you? Oh, yeah. But then basically, Afro just remembers you gotta think differently, or no, don't think at all. Just don't think at all. Just strike from your heart, not from your mind, because your opponent is going to know your move like 5 seconds before you do, basically. So think with your mind. Think with your heart. And he does, and he defeats the Afro Droid. Of course, Afro Droid's not dead. He sends Afro up very, very high, and they have a very badass fight. Then Afro Droid is dead again. I believe so. Yeah. Then Afro Droid is actually still alive. And he shoots a big ass energy gun. And they all survive. Except for Afro Droid, he's finally dead. And then at the end of the episode, Afro's still coming up. And then he runs into a repaired Geno. And that ends the episode. Boom, boom. Well, now we go into episode 4. Where you really get a good look at Geno now. He's wearing a teddy bear head because his younger sister, Osiru, always had a teddy bear with her. But she died a long time ago, so now he wears the teddy bear head to keep her memory alive. Also because he's been rebuilt, he's half cyborg now, so he's going full RoboCop basically. So he's hiding his face pretty well. And he uses 2 swords. So that way, if someone's attacking, he can block and attack at the same time. Which is pretty neat. But Geno is really the only person that Afro will not kill. Under any circumstances, they grew up together. They're friends. Or now acquaintances, at least. I don't know. But yeah, back in the past, when Afro was trying to find the number 2, he hears that, hey, maybe the Swordmaster has the number 2. So then he goes and asks on the night he graduates. And the guy's just like, meet me at this place at midnight and I'll tell you the truth. And he goes, and the Swordmaster reveals he is the number 2. And this huge mob is just like, wait, we're looking for the number 2. Let's go attack. Of course, they all get attacked. And the school's just like, our master's under attack, we gotta defend him. So, of course, they try to defend him, including Otsiru, who runs out for some reason. And they all get killed, including Otsiru, except for Geno and Afro. And Geno just looks and he sees that his little sister has been killed. And he looks and he sees Afro Samurai is still standing. And he's just like, how could you do this to me? Well, what happened? And then while he's exclaiming and all that stuff, he backwalks off the cliff and falls off the cliff. And then like a few days later, he gets picked up by some scientist who has a spider robot body. It's just like, we could use him. And then just picks him up and rebuilds him, pretty much. And back to the present, they're still fighting. And of course, Afro's just like, I'm not gonna kill you, I'm not gonna kill you, I'm not gonna strike, or anything. and well, he was forced to slash. So he slashes the teddy bear head off and reveals Gino's true face. It's half cyborg, half human. And one of his eyes is always crying. There's always tears falling out of his eye. Tears haven't stopped falling since he's been rebuilt, basically. When he was dead, he couldn't cry necessarily, but those tears are for Zero. But yeah, Afro Samurai distracts him long enough. Doesn't kill him, just distracts him long enough so he can pass. And then we get to episode number 5, which is the final episode. It's him versus Justice, the dude who killed his dad, the dude who this journey has been all about. So what happens? Ninja leaves. He's not needed anymore. He's finally versing Justice. But Justice was just like, now that I have one headband, why not have the rest of the headbands? Because there's more than just the number 2 and number 1. There's all these headbands, and there was this whole entire war, the headband war, that happened. It's just basically, the headbands are, as far as I can tell, they're ego stroking pretty much, But Justice has killed a lot of people to get all of these headbands. And you have to kill to get all these headbands. So, and I approach this like, well, somebody got to put you down. So he goes, attacks. Of course, there's a big final boss battle. And Afro thinks he's gone on top. Because Justice looks like he's pretty dead. But, Afro turns his back. Justice is not dead. And he controls the ground that they're on. And he stabs Afro, what he thinks is through the head, but his Afro is so big and so, I can't think of the word. Well, he stabs him through the Afro, not the head. But it is so shocking to Afro that he does think black out for like a minute or two. And Justice is just like, I have won. I have finally won. And then Afro stabs him. And he finally wins. So Justice is no longer a god anymore. Afro has won everything. Afro has won. And Gino is the new number 2. So now there's an endless battle that starts there. But, like I said, that's the end of the story, end of all spoilers and all that stuff. But yeah, like I said, this is a pretty cool anime. It's super easy to get into. I mean, it's also wickedly violent and bloody. Like, the colors and the blood, they match because the colors are all dark or mostly dark, it is like kind of full of color, but it's mostly like drab, except for the blood is a vibrant red that just pours out. Everything is pretty awesome. Everything's really good about this. It's, like I said, really easy anime to get into. 5 episodes. It's on Hulu. I would just go and watch it right now. It'll take like 2.5 hours of your time, just the series alone. And if you watch the movie, it'll add about an hour. So, it's really not a waste of your time at all. It's it's the best anime. It's my favorite anime, to be honest. It's one that I watched countless times again and again, and I just can't recommend it enough. So when you do watch it, or if you watch it, I'm not pushing it on you. Just tell me what you think of it in the comments down below. You can reach me on my socials, which are also in the description down below. And catch me at on Instagram at TRIPL3XXX Mayhem. At Facebook at Official Average John. Twitter at Real Average John. So if you can't understand me or anything, they're all in the description down below. So yeah, just let me know what you think of the series as a whole. And with that, I will see you guys next time.